In this video, I want to share a story of mine, how my mental health deteriorated throughout my school years, but also the lessons I learned that have helped me to become a self-actualized adult. My teen years were defined by self-hatred and so much anger to the point where I ruined my relationships with friends and family, and eventually I isolated myself. I knew that I needed help, but I didn't even know the first step to take. And that's why I want to say thanks to Victoria's Secret Pink for sponsoring this video. Pink is helping to increase mental health awareness by partnering with the JED Foundation. They have sought guidance from professionals and experts to create free resources, self-care opportunities, and coping strategies for stress, anxiety, and self-doubt. These resources are easily accessible and can help you nurture positive mental health. Pink is also sharing stories from young adults and how they have overcome personal struggles to discover their self-worth. All these resources are linked down below in the description box. So let's go to the beginning of the school years when I was a kid. When I was 8 years old, the boy that I had a crush on called me a hairy gorilla. I do indeed have hairy arms. This is my earliest memory of somebody else making me aware of something on my body. Wait, I have hairy arms? Do I have more hair than the other kids? Is it a bad thing to be hairy? The process of socialization had begun. The internalization of beauty standards and social norms by observing others and through ridicule. And unfortunately, the ridicule did intensify every single year as I got older. It seemed like every single school year there was something that kids had to point out about me, and I had to change that thing so that I could avoid the ridicule. In elementary school, I was made aware of the fact that I was the only brown kid in class. I was hairy, I didn't have blonde hair, I didn't have blue eyes. I remember when I was in 6th grade and the girls' locker room, I just saw a lot of things that made me think like, I don't have those things. There were girls with like red lacy push-up bras, and I still had like my little kid trainer bras. And there were also girls that wore very grown-up underwear, and I still had my little underwear from Walmart with a cat on it that said, "It's Tuesday." For some reason, the underwear I needed for that day of the week was always missing. But anyways, and God forbid that you had hairy legs or hairy armpits, because you would be dragged for filth. Your peers ridicule you to form you into that cookie cutter shape of what you're supposed to be, the kind of woman you need to be, what girls need to do in order to be accepted and not ridiculed. So by the age of 13, I was wearing a full face of makeup to school every single day. I begged my mom for a grown-up bra. I started shaving my legs. So by the end of middle school, I was doing all the things that girls needed to do. And I felt like, at last, I am girl. But then came high school. And now I will be transforming from girl to woman. Kids at school, they were having boyfriends and girlfriends and doing stuff with their boyfriends and girlfriends that I did not understand. I grew up as a pastor's child, so I was never ever given the talk of the birds and the bees, only of the fish and the bread. So high school for me was very confusing. It was no longer simply about being pretty. It was about being sexy. I was wearing makeup, I was removing my body hair, I was straightening my hair, I was wearing traditionally feminine clothing. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. Why am I unhappy? Why do I hate my face? Why do I hate my body? Why I don't want my skin color? I want blue eyes. No matter what I did, I felt like I wasn't enough. So by the end of junior year, I realized, you know what? Why am I giving into the peer pressure to do things that I don't want to do, things that don't make me comfortable? You know what? I'm gonna do the opposite. Yeah, that's right, society. Everything you tell me to do, I'm gonna do the opposite. I want nothing to do with anything girly. So I stopped wearing makeup, I stopped straightening my hair, I stopped shaving my legs, and I started wearing clothing that was more traditionally masculine. I would even put my hair in braids to hide it all underneath a hat so that I wouldn't have long hair, because long hair is for girls and I don't want to look like a girl. It definitely did help my confidence, more in the sense of loving myself for who I was and not really putting my value in my feminine sex appeal. But on the other hand, I was starting to develop a toxic mentality. Women who wear makeup, they're only doing it because they're insecure. Women who wear girly clothes, yeah, they're just doing that because they're trying to attract men. Yes, I know, I am also cringing into oblivion and am disgusted with my past self. But this anti-girl phase of mine actually lasted a few years. And I slowly began to realize that I had developed this toxic mentality against women when I myself was a woman. I wanted to convince myself that I was strong, I was confident, I was capable. I don't want to be a girl, I don't want to be seen as weak, I don't want to be seen as insecure. But then I realized, why can't you be a woman and be strong and be confident and be capable? And it was actually pretty hard to enjoy feminine things again because I had such a toxic attitude against it that I would feel guilty if I wore makeup. I would feel guilty if I wore a dress. I would feel guilty if I wore heels. I think I felt guilty because it was like, this is what society wants me to do. I'm simply playing out my internalized biases. I realized, you know what? I don't owe anybody anything. I don't have to prove myself to anyone. I don't need to be society's idea of what a woman is because I already am a woman. I have reached a point in my confidence where I feel 100% confident looking like this, or looking like this. It doesn't matter because this is all external. What matters is the internal, and if people fail to see past the external and are not even interested on the internal, they are like my past self, judgmental, shallow, and unable to accept people as they are. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what your skin color is, your eye color, your fashion sense. You just gotta focus on your own lane. You gotta love yourself and surround yourself with people who love you for you. You are enough. And that is it for this video. I never know how to properly end these rants, but hey, if you like these types of videos, let me know. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day. And again, thanks to Victoria's Secret Pink for sponsoring this video. Check out the mental health resources down below in the description box. And remember, never be afraid to share your story because you may just change somebody's life.